Jack London was a globetrotter and world-famous author and journalist. But he was also a Bay Area boy, and nearly a century after his death, we celebrate his legend all around us. Especially on this land in Sonoma County, Jack's beloved Beauty Ranch.
This was his baby. I mean, I don't know if many people know this, but Jack London could have been the first organic farmer in the United States.
Jack London didn't just write. He was one of the most innovative farmers of his age, always testing new agricultural methods in this sanctuary, while with his wife Charmian also entertaining their many fascinating friends. Jack treasured his time here, literally penning some of his most important work on the ranch.
His love of nature was the wellspring and inspiration for every word that grew through his feet and into his fingers and down his pen.
Today, Jack's Beauty Ranch belongs to all of us as Jack London State Historic Park, located in the hills above Glen Ellen in Sonoma County. We can see the cottage where he lived his final years, visit the Wolf House, his dream home that burned to the ground shortly before its completion and broke his heart. Admire his palace for pigs, and appreciate his passion for nature on 26 magical miles of trails. We can rub shoulders here with a man who lived life to the fullest.
He said that he wanted to live life like a meteor and not like a sleepy planet. Absolutely did that.
We can also visit this quiet knoll where Jack's meteoric journey came to an end. Jack London's ashes were placed beneath this simple boulder following his death at only the age of 40 on November 22nd, 1916. It's a profoundly modest resting place for a man who rarely rested in life and whose appetite for life was anything but modest. Jack London is forever linked to this land he loved, drawn by the irresistible power of Sonoma Mountain and its surrounds.
This is the little hole in the donut blessing Jack London Ranch with beautiful honey-like sun. It was his magnet in this place.
Sonoma Mountain was also the magnet that drew Mike Benziger and his family to Glen Ellen in 1980. Today, the popular Benziger Family Winery, right next door to Jack's Beauty Ranch, produces fine, biodynamic wine. Mike feels a deep kinship to Jack and everything he stood for.
He was so dedicated to making this property here a bastion of health and energy and respecting the environment. He wanted to be the most progressive farmer in America. Believe me, it's that inspiration that drives me every day.
Jack London was driven to write 1,000 words every day, in large measure to pay for his ranch. Next to my wife, he said, the ranch is the dearest thing in the world to me. I write for no other purpose than to add to the beauty that now belongs to me. Helping preserve that beauty and Jack's story is now the responsibility of the nonprofit Valley of the Moon Natural History Association, which operates the park in partnership with the state. Mike Benziger is a volunteer board member, and so is Chuck Levine, who takes me into Jack's and Charmian's cottage.
We'll show you how he lived and where he died.
It feels as if they've just stepped out and will return shortly, cigarettes and flasks standing by.
Jack occasionally imbibed heavily and enjoyed that. He found drinking was a way that men socialized.
Literally, his fingers touched those keys.
Probably Charmian's fingers touched the keys, and probably his secretary touched the keys. Jack was more into handwriting. The dictaphone had been invented by Edison.
Wow. He would dictate into this.
Right. And then the next morning, Charmian or a secretary could come in and transcribe what was on the dictaphone.
Wow.
And when you think that the genesis of that was on a note hanging from a clothespin on a clothesline above his bed, it's pretty amazing. He would wake up in the middle of the night with some idea. He would jot it on a note. He would put it up
These notes
on
over
the
here,
clothespins.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's his handwriting.
And yes. And he was found here on the day that he died. He was comatose.
Jack London's spirit and saga live on in here and all around his beautiful ranch. What's your dream for the future of the lake?
Have a lake that people could enjoy the way Jack London did, swimming, boating.
The Valley of the Moon Association saved the park from closure during the state's recent budget crisis and is committed to improving the ranch in ways Jack would appreciate, including caring for and connecting trails up and around Sonoma Mountain that lead us deep into Jack's precious landscape.
Oaks, redwoods, bay.
Jack London's land and lore are nurtured and passed on by dedicated citizens such as Chuck and Mike, who want us to meet the man who's inspired them. Thanks to their efforts, we have many opportunities to know Jack on his home turf, including a unique way Jack and Charmian might especially enjoy. On summer evenings, Transcendence Theater brings the best of Broadway musicals to the Beauty Ranch. Audiences have been delighted by these open-air performances since 2012. It's become one of the premier outdoor musical venues in the nation, which would surely please Jack London no end.
So this is like the second rise of the Phoenix, right? I was here last summer during a performance when a meteorite flew across the whole sky and just completely mesmerized the audience. We knew that was Jack's sign-off for the night right there. He gave us the high five as he went across the heavens for sure. He's here.
To find out more about visiting Jack London State Historic Park and the work of the Valley of the Moon Natural History Association, go to NBCBayArea.com/open-road. When we come back, discover a growing path on ridgelines above the bay and watch curtains of light brighten a winter's night in Alaska.